Okay, we're going to do this set, which I got ages ago, and I mentioned this one. I was quite keen on this because it looks like a 80s TV show giant robot. I think when I got this, I thought they were running out in the shop, but then they came back, so it wasn't that exciting. Let's do this. It is late. I shouldn't be doing this video, but I'm going to. Because, there we go. Did it! I'm actually, I should have done, I didn't publish any more videos. It's going to look like I haven't been making videos for ages, but I've slowly been doing it. They're going to get through all the creator, look at that one, that's quite good. Dragon, dinosaur. I just watched Jurassic World Dominion. It was very silly. What's that? That's completely out of... No, I guess it makes sense actually because they're robot things. So that's a little bit more sensible than I thought. Let's get into this. We'll make the standard one obviously first because we always do. That's what I always do. Where's my lid that I use to hold all the pieces? It looks like I've lost the lid that I used. It's just gone. I'm going to borrow a lid. I've got quite a few of these containers, so the lids will show up every so often. It's very brightly coloured. Maybe I should... actually do... No, we better do the main model. If I can. Look at that little dragon one. Feels like it's a lot shorter than this one. And I'm getting a bit tired, but we'll do this. I'm just going to fold this over. Otherwise it's going to be a miserable day doing this. So first piece, there we go. That's easy. We need this and this. Yeah, I thought Jurassic World Dominion was very silly, and I'm glad it's all over. Like it wasn't terrible, but it was just doesn't make sense. And so it's good. It's done. I just feel like they dragged that on a bit too far. Oh, I'm confused. No, I'm not. Okay, what am I doing? I am putting these ones there. It's taken me a long time to get around to watching that movie. I'm not entirely sure why I watched it. I feel like I want to watch just rewatch old movies at the moment, which is not so grand. Not because I yearn for older movies at the moment. It's just that I like to watch. I feel like watching movies that you'll rewatch again at some point, or a bit more that aren't that straightforward, or and I just run out of current movies to watch. I feel like I really do need to get Disney Plus and watch some Disney Plus things, get that out of the way. But anyway, you know, I don't have much else to say. It's just one of those times. I've almost finished. Oh, I should have bought my cool little electronics thing that I made. But I'm making another electronics thing, which is almost done. But then I put it together, realizing that I still have to add a few parts to it. So I was being a bit hasty. Actually, now that I think about it, being very hasty, and it should be okay. Yeah, it'll be fine. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to show it on this channel, and it'll be amazing. Turning the page is here. And when we're putting on these things. Oh, this is going to be the legs. Gotcha. It feels like I'm building a spaceship. Everything always feels like you're building a spaceship. With Lego. Let's say about Jurassic World Dominion. I would have rather just seen the original characters, even though they seem too old and just not up to doing it. I really am not a big fan of Chris Pratt, to be completely honest. Like, you know, he was funny at first, but now it's just I'm over Chris Pratt. But you know, it's fine to see the. I watched the pitch meeting again. I wish I watched actually originally when I hadn't seen the film, because you know, it's one of those films where it's like, well, I don't really care if I get the spoilers because it doesn't matter. I'll just forget what the storyline was anyhow. So really, rewatching it was fine because I'd completely forgotten what the pitch meeting had actually said, other than funny jokes. But yeah, I haven't actually watched the pitch meeting for Black Panther, the new one, because I haven't seen the new Black Panther film, and I kind of wanted to see it and put some effort into it. So I might have to do that so that I can watch the pitch meeting. And I'm not expecting that to have the most amazing plot either. Okay, I've got to stop talking about a silly dumb film that I just randomly watched this evening because it's tedious. But I do like the colours. Like, I like looking at this. I just like looking at it. Look at all these. You don't get the full yellows on the camera, I don't think. Or maybe you do. Maybe it's just a screen on the camera. This makes everything look a lot more washed out than it really is. Where's the other one of these? Because that's the good thing about all being bright colours, is that you think the bright colours are easy to find. Not so, it turns out. And that one goes there. And that one goes there. I did finally watch this movie, Time Trap. I think it's called Time Trap. It's one of these films that I've watched. They have on these channels on YouTube. The thing you're watching this on. They have these channels where they just recap movies and tell you what happened. And so I've watched a lot of those on all the movies that I'm kind of interested in knowing what happens, but I can't really be bothered watching. And I'd watched the one for Time Trap twice actually, so I knew the plot exactly. But I still watched it. It was still quite fun. I thought it's pretty good for a little random indie film. Not indie, but you know, it's a low budget sci-fi. I hadn't really heard of it except for seeing it on recap channels. So it's worth checking out. Don't watch the movie recap stuff first. Watch it. Watch the movie. You'll enjoy it. Maybe you won't. Maybe you like period dramas from like the 1800s in France. In which case, you're going to be out of luck. It's not going to be your cup of tea. Or croissant, or whatever. And this goes there. And that goes there. I haven't got around to trying to learn French yet. I thought about it, actually. I'm still going along and learning German very slowly with Duolingo and reading stuff. And starting to listen to TV things. And I think I have to listen to the music more. And eventually talking to German speakers. Getting there. Have I finished both of them? I have finished. Of course, I didn't even think about it. Just did both. I'm doing two because it said at the front that there were two of them. So I'm just thinking ahead. Because that's what we do around here. Because there are two legs. This is a very symmetrical model, I believe. So that should make this go fast. Super fast. The weather in Auckland has been terribly strange recently because it's wetter than it usually is this time of year. Last year it was quite warm. And then you're kind of like, wow, you know, climate change. But this year it's quite miserably wet in place sometimes. Sometimes it's fine. It's not that warm. I'm still wearing trousers. I normally would be wearing shorts by now. But there you go. September, October, November. Tomorrow is the first day of summer. Gosh. The weather is messed up. Like, honestly, it is. It's just crazy. Well, maybe it has often been this wet this time of year in Auckland and New Zealand as a whole. It's been a lot wetter in other parts of the country. It's hard to tell. So that was my discussion about the weather, because I like to make small talk. I think it really helps connect with people. So, next page is this one. There's a lot of clicking in this, isn't there? It's a clicky. This is a clicky one. That goes like that. I really like. Oh, I guess it goes. Okay, it does go in the. I was just trying to think for a second. Do they actually have to be just 2 single stud ones and not anymore? I've got some more of these things and a set that came with like a proper box. They have like, you know, actual things to build that aren't coming in a little bag. Today I went to the supermarket that those things come from, and I spent $2 less than the cut-off value to get some more bags, so I missed out on getting some today. And you know, when you do that and you go to the supermarket, you're always like, oh, just go buy some bubble gum or something, some chewing gum. Just finish it up. Just get a couple of bits of chewing gum. So I don't want to buy anything else. I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for this trick. I'm not going to go buy some stuff I don't actually need right this minute, just so I can get some more of these things. Not being a child, it's just not working. I'm not doing it, and then you kind of feel good that I didn't give in, and then I also feel like, oh, maybe I should have bought something else. Well, the worst thing is you get home and you're like, oh, I forgot to get this thing. And not only are you annoyed now at the fact that you forgot to get the thing, but if you had got the thing, you would have also got the other things. So, life is hard. And tricky. So, fiddly even. They can go there. And there. It's nothing. We haven't taken up too much time. Which is terrifying because we're going to run out of things to talk about. Actually, of course, I've been thinking a lot, as I do, about the use of AI technology, especially image-based things. That this year, things have just blown up this year. Like really, this whole StyleGAN and other ones, the whole neural networks generating things. Like, well, you know, there was a few years ago they were doing like the trippy AI dream stuff. I don't know if people remember that, which I guess is kind of like a little bit on the starting point to moving to where we are now. But I just watched it on the Disney Research Channel. That's right, they have a Disney Research Channel. It's not like a huge. It's just like they obviously fund some research. And we're doing two. Are we doing 2 of these? Does it say there's no 2 times? There's no 2 times, so I'm not going to jump ahead and do 2 because there's a lot of parts that look very similar. And well, they published a thing where they just did a paper about de-aging. Why are we not doing 2 of these? Are they actually legitimate? Oh, why did they do that? That's so mean. Like, look here, look at this, look. This is like. They lull you into a sense of security here. They start off, and here... Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. They've got me twice. I was going to say, look, this part, they said you do it twice. But actually, this thing has the foot on it. Oh, I had to be smarter. Well, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. And, yeah, they got like a de-aging technique for videos. That seems a lot better than the previous stuff that's been coming out. And, you know, the pace of research is shockingly fast. It feels. And you can kind of think, well, if this is how fast things have happened in the last year, basically, or 2, then what is it going to be like in 5 years' time? Like, what's going to be next? We'll have to find out. Alright. So which way around does this go? So it's a serious. It's going to be like in a few years' time. It's going to be a huge issue for society. A lot of things are going to be challenged by the rise of this sort of technology. And we're all being, brainwashed into thinking the big problem is these super smart machines that will want to take over and kill humans, and all that we really have to care about is intelligent machines that think like us and do things, and thinking machines. And when really it's just that it turns out that you can make things that do a lot of stuff that we thought you had to be super intelligent or smart to do, and it turns out you didn't really, or at least you can do a lot more. You can do some things that you didn't really think we could, that you thought only humans could do, and not have the whole human robots that want to kill humans. This kind of thing. Well, this is a robot controlled by people, so this is like the good kind of robot. I'm assuming this robot is, because these things don't pop off and look like lions or anything. So. I mean, it does break apart. Like, it does. I mean, I guess it has to break apart. So I don't know if it really is a reference to, say, like Voltron or something, but it looks like the Voltron robot and the big robot that they had. And it seems like an awful, coincidence if it wasn't related to that. But anyway, you know what I mean. So we've, stopped thinking about robots taking over the world by killing us all and being super intelligent. Because that may be a thing in the future. But right now, the big problem is, it turns out machines are better at some things than we thought they were. Unexpectedly, which is like, I think I mentioned this on the channel before, like I think when computers first started being, back in the 60s or whatever, in 50s and 60s, people were like, there are some things that, they were surprised when you could get computers to do things like solve calculus equations. Because we all felt that was like a thing that humans could do, and that was what made us special. And it turns out that machines were actually really good at that kind of thing, and not so good at the things that we thought were quite simple, like recognizing faces. And just had to wait a while, and now they're actually good at all the other bits and pieces too. I don't really know, but it just feels like we're not very good at estimating what machines are going to be good at and when and how. And so the next few years, I think, we're all going to be taken a bit by surprise. And so then you have to think about, well, where are we going to be? What are we going to be doing in a few years' time? Like, what's my future career going to be? So there we go. And so this is they are going to be different art. So this is where it gets a bit different. You have different hands, subtly different. On the weekend, I'm going to a retro event thing. I don't know what the term is. I think I had it on this channel. I showed the little poster with the event things. That's coming up. So this is kind of like, this fits into it, because it's going to be full of people who like Voltron. To be honest, I haven't watched Voltron since I was a kid, so I don't really remember it. It's just a thing that I make jokes about as a reference to the 80s. It's like Voltron. So I should probably, and I haven't really ever watched anything like, the Power Rangers. Which is, a bit sad, because considering a lot of the seasons were filmed in the country from which I currently live. But that's the way you go when you're around here. You just don't care about those things. So now we're going to snap this one in together. It's going to be a nice satisfying click. And we're almost finished. We've got this the head to do. Which is an important part of the body if you think about it. And this goes there. And that goes there. So very realistic. And this goes there. That doesn't go like that. It goes like this. Tricked you on that one. I did get Sonic the Hedgehog 2, speaking of things, out of the library. And I was also going to play Sonic the Hedgehog. I've gone and lost my cool thing. I had this weird Oh, I've got. How can I keep losing it? Crazy. A. It's not a Sega. It's not a Sega Game Gear as such. It is a Sega Game Gear. I don't know where I put it. I don't know how I managed to get it. It seems like it's quite rare to get outside of Japan. Maybe it's not. It is in New Zealand, I think. But this handheld device, that's basically a Sega Game Gear. And if you don't know what a Sega Game Gear is, it's like an original Sega. It's like an original Nintendo Game Boy competitor. Except it was color first, and I think it was color first, but probably not color before the Atari Lynx. I can't really remember the exact order. I have an Atari Lynx. I have two Atari Lynxes. I don't know where they are. But I keep losing everything. Like I don't know how I keep losing it. But so it's this later model that is actually it is a Sega Game Gear, but it's not branded as that. And I forgot what it's branded as. It was like late in its career that they resold it as something slightly different looking in Japan, and that's what I've got. But I do actually have a Game Gear somewhere, so it's not like I don't have an actual Game Gear. But anyway, the thing is, somewhere on my desk, I don't know where, there is a Game Gear cartridge for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I keep losing it every time I find it. And if I do find it, I won't be able to find the Game Gear thing again. And when I find the Game Gear, I would have lost the silly cartridge for the Sonic the Hedgehog. And so that's just my life at the moment, and it's just wild. So what is this thing that we're making, and how does this fit on? Okay, we're going to make these things. So that's just another exciting thing that's happened in my life in recent years. So that one goes there. We're going to make two shoulders. And we're going to put these on. We've still got quite a few pieces. We've got all of these to go. So it feels like you're finished when you put this head on. But actually, it just gets more and more wild as you go along. So the shoulders actually work, I think, pretty good. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. It does. I think you've got to get them really squished up against there. But then they just pop up. Are they meant to pop up? I guess they're meant to pop up. It's a bit weird. But, I broke it off. They pop off a bit. So, we've got that done. So now we're going to do this. I like that. I like the fact that they've emphasized there's a good clicking sound by having that picture in the background. Or that's just a reference to, like, anime cartoons. Now, we are putting this together. And we'll just do them both at the same time. Obviously, they're going to be roughly opposite. And no, I don't have to think so much about what I'm doing. So that one goes there. And then we're going to get these things and put them down here. And then we're going to put them over here. Alright, and we need these ones. And I think, though I'm actually kind of like a bit like, whoopsie, I've done something wrong, because, well, we've got two extra ones of those. I could turn the page, and I've got one of these. Like, what is this one? Like, I remember using it. I've done something, haven't I? How can I have done something? How can I be missing this? How can I have stuffed this up? Because otherwise, it wouldn't. Oh, I can see where it is. Like, I'm missing it there. Oh, gosh. Well, that's okay. You can take the leg off. Take that off. Doesn't make any significant difference when you think about it. So, that one goes there. Alright, so now we've got that piece sorted out. We've got these to put on. And I feel like I've missed something. So, turn this around. And, oh, it just clips onto there. That's pretty straightforward. That clips to there. That fell off. So to be honest, this bit here is not... Is it just the same side falling off? I think it's the same side. That one's quite... This one's not so... Okay. They're a bit loosey-goosey. But there we go. That's the finished robot. But I'm just thinking... Well, I've got a spare of that and a spare of that. But there are two round stud... There are three leftover yellow ones. Did I forget to put them somewhere? Maybe they go on the front. No. Now what? Oh, that's the second wing. Right, fine. Okay. Alright. Is this the number of... Where are 4 of them? Yeah. So you are meant to use 4. I don't know what they were used for. Anyway, we've done it. That's the robot. Looking like this. And they can sort of sit down. So that's pretty cool. Like, it's a pretty good display thing. I just quite liked it. I don't know, it looked like fun. It's quite fun to build. And it's got lots of cool colours. So it's worth it. I mean, this is a cheap set. This was not an expensive set. So it's good value for money. So thanks for watching. Though I guess this will be the last time that they have sets this price range because of inflation. So are the other ones? That one's kind of okay. Does that one have 4 of the single? I don't think any of them do. So why do they give you 4 if you don't? I feel like I really have. Surely I could see it in the picture. Not in the eyes. Well, you could put them in different places. You could put them behind their head. Or you could put them on both sides of this. That might be a plan. Right, you could put one there, and then you could put that one there. Maybe that's... Or you could put them on the chest, or down here, or something like that. That seems a bit weird. So, I don't know. What would Voltron do? Thanks for watching. There's nothing else to say about this. It's all over. Have a good evening, and catch you next time. Bye!